today I will read you the story of the little boy's bed. Before starting the story, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and support me. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who loved his tiny bed very much. Most kids love their beds, but this boy might have loved his bed a bit too much. Every morning, he never wanted to leave the warmth of his cozy blanket. One day, the little boy visited a friend's house and saw his friend's bed. He was amazed. The friend's bed was not only bigger, but it was also stuffed with soft wool instead of straw. When you sat on it, it wasn't hard, it was as soft as a cloud. That night, when the little boy got into his own bed, he didn't feel as happy as he usually did. All he could think about was his friend's soft, comfortable bed. He fell asleep crying. From that night on, the little boy cried himself to sleep every night. Eventually, the sleep fairy couldn't stand it anymore. She decided to help the boy by changing his bed. When bedtime came and the little boy went to his room, he couldn't believe his eyes. His tiny bed had been replaced by a shiny, beautifully painted cradle. The cradle was so pretty that the boy hesitated to even touch it at first. Finally, he climbed into the soft cradle and lay down. As the cradle gently rocked back and forth, the boy began to feel like he was on a boat. But after a while, he dreamed that he was falling into cold, icy water. He got so scared that he woke up crying. The sleep fairy realized the boy didn't like the cradle very much. So, the next night, she replaced it with a royal bed fit for a king. The new bed was huge and surrounded by curtains made of lace and silk. The four corners of the bed had tall, golden posts carved with beautiful patterns. Heavy velvet drapes hung down on all sides. At first, the boy loved his new bed. But in the middle of the night, he started feeling trapped. It was so closed off that he thought he was suffocating. He tried to get out, but the heavy velvet curtains made it hard to move, and the bed was too high to climb down from. On the third night, the sleep fairy brought a simpler bed. It wasn't fancy, but it was stuffed with feather pillows and mattresses to make it extra comfy. The bed was so high and soft that the little boy needed a chair to climb onto it. When he lay down, he sank deep into the fluffy mattress until only the tip of his nose stuck out. Of course, he couldn't sleep well. Finally, the sleep fairy gave up. She brought back the little boy's old bed. That night, the boy had the best sleep of his life. Even though it was small and a bit hard, it was the bed he knew and loved. After that, the little boy never complained about his bed again. And he learned that sometimes, the things we're most comfortable with are the ones we already have. Thank you for listening.